Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to CFFL. Week 1 is in the book. Some of us are gut punched. Some of us are thrilled and elated. Some of us are still on pins and needles, but recording this episode still. We've got live breaking news that's going to be a part of this episode. We've got recaps. We've got a look ahead to next week. We also have a surprise, fun new guest who I think is going to bring something to this podcast. That's for sure. But this is week 2. Drew, welcome back. How you doing?
Good, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing really well. You know, last week I showed you at the end of the video, one kid was not yet asleep. I'm afraid that 2 are not asleep right now, and somebody might come down these basement steps. Other than that, I'm good. I got the TV on in front of me. I found the mic this time to help avoid echo. You know, I'm living the dream, man.
Living the dream. It looks like you're 2 points short of living the dream.
That's a fair point. Yeah,
just throwing that out there.
And I have my hold on. I have my towel to wipe away my tears here later. I can't remember the last time I started 0-1, but I think we're getting too far ahead of ourselves. Let me introduce our special surprise guest, Mr. Jason Nelson. Some of you might know him as the Players Club. Some of you might know him as, you know, just the club in general. He's the man who brings the Tito's to the draft. Jason, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
I'm really, you know, man, living the dream. Glad to have you here. I think you're going to bring a little spice to this week. So,
to be honest, I'm hoping so. I know we did a little pre-talk, and I'm super excited about this, and I'm ready to get it started.
All right, man. Let's rock and roll. I want to start this week with a recap. And I don't know if, Drew, I told you about this last week or not, but I took a screenshot of the projections before Thursday night started. Now, there's a couple of caveats here because the first one comes from my wife, who is also, you know, my co-coach. She says something very wise about projections. You know, she's a smart lady.
Mm-hmm.
She says that projections don't mean shit. And you know what? Let's find out if she's right or not. We're going to start with a little recap game by game. So I had replacements taking on Kirby's Kings. All right. Any guesses at what the line was for that?
Replacements -4.5.
Jason?
If I remember correctly, I think it was the replacements -7.5.
Well, I looked at it on Tuesday. I've got the screen grab right here. Even is the projection. Jason, you said go ahead.
That was about right. Yeah, 52-27. That's close.
Right. Jason, what'd you see in this recap? I want to hear what you had to say or had to think about this one. Give us a little feedback.
Well, I'm going to go off what you guys said last week about the replacements. Those guys are looking very tough. Solid team. I mean, very solid performers, top to bottom. The only thing that I see is that they left Brandon on the bench.
Mm-hmm.
That was that. Other than that, there's no mistaking that team. They are going to be a tough team to beat.
Yeah, the Brandon you're referring to is Brandon Ayuk, and it's like I feel like he's boomer bust, one of those dudes. He's going to get 2 this week.
I mean, I had him last year. Don't get me wrong, and he killed me on games. I mean, you're right. He's boomer bust. And you know what? Week 1 was his boom, and it could be bust the rest of the season. And I guess we'll see how it works.
Yeah, so I'm looking at his roster. He's got dudes like Chris Olave, who seemed like he caught a ball every other play. Calvin Ridley only had 11 points, but it seemed like he was doing just about everything. Jahmyr Gibbs, I know that head coach said that they're planning on using him a little bit more next week, which pains me because I have the other guy. I can't remember his name quite yet. I'm still learning my team's names. So he's got like 52 points scored to 27 is the total for the Kirby's Kings. Although Kirby does have Josh Allen still going, I don't think he's going to overcome, you know, whatever that deficit is. I'm not very good with math right now on the fly, but yeah, it's looking pretty sewn up.
Yeah.
It's over. It's over. And going on to Kirby's Kings here, I made the same mistake in 2 other leagues. Sky Moore, I put Calvin Ridley on the bench for Sky Moore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oops.
For those not familiar, we're looking at a stat line of one rush, not even a reception.
Wide receiver, 1 rush. Yeah. Excellent.
It seems like he's not heavily involved.
The only thing I was thinking about the Kings, I mean, if your top scorer is C. Dicker going into Monday night, you're in trouble.
Yep.
Seems like he's got a C Dicker still in his hands for this one.
He's got a C Dicker in his hands, and I mean, looking at the roster though, Josh Allen, Saquon, Javonte Williams, Pickens, Freiermuth. That's not bad. The bench, DeAndre Hopkins maybe a little old, maybe Sutton had a touchdown. Damian Pierce. I mean, so he's not in a bad position. It's just a bad week.
Yeah, I feel like you're right. He's got bullets left in the chamber. He just didn't use them this week.
That's right. He's hitting the wire hard, and he's all right. It's 0-1, but I was 0-4 last year, I think.
And look at how you ended up in the Super Bowl against our fellow guest here.
That's right. So it's a long season. Week 1 it's unfortunate, but you get a good draft pick or waiver wire ad this week, so no big deal there.
Right. All right, let's move on. We got Big Daddy's Bandits currently at 25 points, and our friend Mr. Jason Players Club himself at 35. Now there's still players going. You're facing off against Dalvin Cook, who has a current total of 0 points. And then you yourself have Alan Lazard, 1 point to his name, and Tyler Bass, kicker for the Buffalo Bills, 7. It's not done yet, but I mean, it's pretty much done. How you feeling?
It's done.
I'm not. I mean, first, I need to say that I do love to see the Big Daddy Bandits in my division. I mean, that's just 2 quick, easy wins, So I'm happy to see that. I mean, it's
Hall of Famer, Jason.
Well, I know that. I understand that, but still, it's like playing the Coyotes. The Coyotes should be in the Hall of Fame too. But those are easy wins to me. At least against me in my 20 years in this league. I mean, they've been easy wins for me. But I mean, both teams are struggling. We're not putting up a bunch of points. But I did pick it up a little bit in the 4:00 game yesterday. I was struggled definitely in the 1:00 game. But you know what? I'll take it. A win's a win.
Mm-hmm. I really hope.
And if I play the right lineup, I didn't realize that Myers was going to be as hot as he's going to be in LA, or not in LA, in Vegas, and if he continues to do that, I mean, if I play the right lineup, I think I'm going to be a reckon with this division.
The one you got something, I don't want to step on you, but the one thing, Jonathan Taylor news potentially he's going to be coming back in week 5 on your bench. Yeah, that's not great for your competitors. What do you got?
I mean, I haven't been following that, but I mean, I picked him up. I think it was 7 or 8. I mean, and I'm like, if it, like you guys said, if he comes back and plays, and I got, well, Eckler's, he's dealing with I think it was a knee or an ankle I just saw. And Josh Jacobs and Taylor. Yeah, I mean, that's a 3-headed monster that, you got three of the top 5 running backs potentially, or the top 10, and I got one of them in the 8th round. I'll take it.
Cooking with grease. What do you got for us on this one, Drew?
Yeah, looking at your bench club and Darnell Mooney. I'm not sold on Justin Fields. I know Mike and Randy and I had the discussion last week. They're way higher on Justin than I am. But you have Darnell Mooney, got a touchdown. That's good to see. And then you have Christian Watson, who didn't even play, with a quarterback in Green Bay that looks like he might be the real deal. We'll see. It's early, but that could be beautiful because I have Dobbs on my bench. So if Christian Watson could just stay on yours and the real bench, I'm fine with that. Let Dobbs eat. Let him eat. But you have Christian Watson coming back. That could be scary. And the only thing I have to say about Big Daddy, man, when I play you, please play Taysom Hill tight end. Please. Please. I will pay you. I will pay you to keep him there.
It's early. We're going to try not to overreact here, but it's looking pretty good for the club.
But so. Taysom's good for a 3-touchdown game this year. I guarantee. I don't know what week I have you on the schedule, but just pencil Taysom in for 3 or 4 touchdowns that week. He won't do crap the rest of the year, but you know where he'll be on me, right?
Well, it's good that you know that going into it.
Oh, I do. I got to overcome that.
Club, any? Do you remember what your line was before you kicked off on Thursday?
I think I was minus 3.5 or 4.5.
Drew, you got a guess?
Breaking news: Dalvin Cook has 1 point.
Oh,
I'm not calling comeback. But
currently with 12:15 remaining in the third quarter, I did see that run. Pretty solid.
You got to start somewhere. So the line on this, man, I would. It looks pretty even. Maybe the club 1.5 with Herbert over Watson.
Club favored by 6.5. Actual
6.5.
retail price.
Ouch.
Um,
you know what? That's kind of close.
Yeah, looks like they're batting 1,000 on that one.
I'm covering that.
Yeah, so far. I mean, Dalvin is cooking though. Heads up,
Dalvin falls into the end zone accidentally, and we're right there. We're right there. So
you are, yeah, correct.
And Bass hits a field goal. That's like 6, 7 right there.
I want to move forward so we can gloss over this next game very briefly. But we got the Golden Saints at a point total of 51, and somebody called the Land Sharks at 52 for the Taints and a 51 point total for the Sharks. Let's start with the line. You guys, any guesses on what this line was?
Oh, I think you had. I think it was you. I think it was 5.5 or 6.5.
Nah.
Yeah.
Cam Akers. Yeah, I'd say we'll go 4.5 again. I like that number.
Actual retail price, the Sharks favored by 3 points. So you guys are pretty close on that. Yeah. I think this performance could have went a couple of different ways. When I just kept getting bent over by Tua Tagovailoa throughout the entirety of the game. I knew when Tyreek caught that last one, I think it went through the dude's helmet. Maybe it just wasn't my day. We were down 20 at that point. I had 3 guys left to go. And we did claw our way back. Tony Pollard got us 2 touchdowns. CeeDee Lamb caught a bomb early. And then Darren Waller just fell off the face of the earth. I think that game was just funky last night.
It wasn't funky. We're still waiting on the Giants offensive line to block somebody. Yeah. We're still waiting. Maybe in week 2 they can get it done, but they didn't block anybody.
No, I don't know if Dallas.
And we'll get to Danny Dimes here in a minute because I'm a little salty about that one. But anyway,
we can talk on that. Jason, what? Give me some hope here, or not. I mean, hit me over the head and kill me.
I'm going to be honest. I got some questions for you guys. Do you guys? How many yards and touchdowns do you think Justin Jefferson's put up in his career?
Yards?
Yeah, yards and touchdowns in his career.
This is his 3rd year, right?
Yep.
So 2,600 yards and 7 touchdowns.
I know that the yards are disproportionately huge compared to the touchdowns because I had him and Amon-Ra St. Brown last year, and it was like the same for both of them. Yeah, I would say I think he's already at 3,200 yards and maybe 9 touchdowns.
All right. Well, he's actually at 4,975.
Oh, we missed a year or something.
No, yeah, 4,975. And I have it broken down. I actually got it written out. And 25 touchdowns.
Oh, damn.
For a guy that is supposed to be a huge, huge stud.
Did I say 10 touchdowns? I want it.
Does not get the end zone. I mean, last year, 1,809 yards and 8 touchdowns.
I remember that. Yeah,
that's not awful.
I mean, you think
if you're
that
8
for
or
a guy,
more, 8 or more is kind of what you're looking for. I mean, yeah, I'd say for that many yards, you ran the football field 18 times. You should have more than 8 touchdowns, but
we're talking about the number 1 overall pick. I think it's
2021, 16, 10 touchdowns.
Okay.
2020, 14, 40, and 7 touchdowns.
Yeah, we missed a year. Can't believe he's been in the league that long.
Yeah.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Jason, you're saying tons of yards, good for touchdowns, but he's the number 1 pick.
Yeah. He doesn't put up the touchdown. The yards in our league doesn't mean nothing.
Well, if you don't
get in the end zone in our league, you lose.
He's the number 1 pick in a PPR.
For sure.
Yeah. In a PPR, yards 10 yards a point. He's the number 1 where
100%.
Wasn't McCaffrey I think he was listed as a number 1 in a non-PPR league.
Yeah, replacements had the number 1 pick. I think he took McCaffrey. Yeah, he took.
Yeah,
McCaffrey.
he did. Yes.
Well, good pick.
Definitely.
Now going on to the Sharks, you're going to pile up points every week. I mean, that's and your roster shows it. But my one question is Lamar Jackson, 2 points.
Yeah, I'll take this one, Drew. Lamar, it wasn't his best day. There are positives. Lamar was actually a target in a lot of my drafts, and I'm staying on the bandwagon. It's not dead. We might need like an oil change just to keep this thing moving. But new offensive coordinator. We're just kind of getting into things. It's like sacrilege now to play these guys in the preseason. So there's not a lot of cohesion with the receivers and everybody else. Also, let's not forget that Mark Andrews didn't play last week, and he's the number 1 target, especially in the red zone.
Yep.
We won the game. The Baltimore Ravens, we didn't necessarily put up the stat line that our fantasy owners would have preferred, but I think that brighter days are ahead.
Going on to the Taints here, Tsunami, Bushwhackers, you, Mike, you're all in the Central Division. That sucks for you guys because Tua is going to play probably the first 3 games before he falls down a flight of stairs and breaks every bone in his body, and then he'll come right back in like week 13 when you start division play again, and you guys will all lose single-handedly to Tua again, which is great for everybody else in the league.
Do you guys know what Tua stands for?
No, I don't.
He scores too many points, guys. Too
many points.
Too many points.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing I was going to say is he's not going to put up 19 again. I almost put a $10 bet on it that he'll never put up 19 points again the rest of the year.
No, he will next week and the week after until he gets knocked out with a back injury where his head really hurts or whatever. It's just silly stuff with him. I mean, he got hit in Alabama. He got hit one time and broke like 3 parts of his body. I mean, the guy's a China doll. He's gonna be sitting in some MRI machine in 3 weeks, and I'm fine with that. Because it's not against me.
But it's not a season ender because, like you said, he'll be back to
no, he'll come back to kick your ass again. Don't worry.
Yeah,
don't worry.
All right, let's keep it moving. Going on to the Tsunami and the Bushwhackers. This game is over. Tsunami just trounced,
dominated
the Bushwhackers, 61-30.
Bushwhackers got whacked.
Now,
big time.
My wife and her prediction of projections being bullshit. It might take a hit on this one. Do you guys know what the line was for this game?
It's about even.
Jason?
I'm going to say Tsunamis by 5.
Yeah, Tsunami by a couple. Yeah,
I'm going to say Tsunami by 5.
So actual retail price, Tsunami was the 50-point favorite because the damn Bushwhackers didn't enter his lineup until Friday. So
okay. Yeah, well, that's about right. That ended up. He didn't need a lineup. It was right.
It was pretty close,
Yeah, about 50. Yeah, that was a good line. Good job, RT. They nailed it.
Jason, start us on this one.
Bushwhackers, all I can say is he went wrong with Amari. I mean, his draft went right down the toilet.
His whole team is pretty much on my do not draft list. I don't know if you know that.
I mean, you have both running backs for Atlanta, and you don't start the guy that gets all the points. Now, granted, everyone has Robinson as the number 1 guy. I'm going to be the great guy, but who knows, But yeah, that I don't know. Going on to Tsunamis, I mean, I don't really know what to say about Randy. He's a veteran. He's been in the league for 20 years, and he's my most feared coach in this whole entire league.
Not
as
so
a veteran, I
not so much
understand that.
here.
I remember that. I know that. I remember that. But in my opinion, as a veteran playing him, he's always drafted well, and he puts in the lineups, and they score points. And the only other thing I have to say is Hill's not going to put up 25 every week.
With the Tsunami, I always look at that draft and say, man, he won't win a game this year. And then I beat him, but nobody else seems to be able to. So it always blows my mind. I mean, he's got Dobbins down for the season. Unfortunate, we're Buckeyes fans. You know, that's I hate seeing that for him. But I mean, he's down Dobbins. ETN is in a timeshare. It seems like. You know, I mean, he's Mahomes. He'll come back, but Miles Sanders. I mean, is he even a real running back? You know, but he'll find a way to win. He always does. It's amazing. I just look at the team and I'm like, yeah, it's okay. It's not great, but he'll pump out 60-point weeks, week in and week out until he plays me. He'll drop a 25, and you know, it's just crazy to me. It's crazy.
You know, he told me last week when we got on this recording and won the division, and I told him, I'm like in the back of my head, I'm like, there's no way, man. You know, I'm looking at my roster and I'm thinking I'm really solid. I mean, it's only been a week, but you know, right now, prophecy it's looking like he's probably going to make it happen. He'll win the first 3 weeks, then he's going to go to Europe. He'll fall off on the free agent wire, but somehow, you know, he's gonna win games.
He'll make it work,
and then he'll be back from Europe, and then he's gonna kick my ass again. That's just, you know, that's the way it's gonna go.
Yeah, that is, man. It's how he does it every year. It's amazing. I don't get it, but you know what? Winning is winning.
Winning is winning. Just win, baby. Let's move on to the Nuts against the Niners.
Let's not.
Yeah, we can gloss over this one too. Nuts 25, Niners 33. Game's not over, but game's over.
Game's over.
Jason, what was the line on this?
2.5.
Who's favorite?
I'm gonna say Nuts.
Nuts, you remember?
I was I at 1.5 or a half?
I got you as a 3.5-point underdog to the Niners.
Oh, 3.5. Okay.
Yeah. And
yeah.
Maybe, I'm going to kick this one off. I'm looking at the Niners squad. And guys, Drew, I'm a little bit intimidated. I know you guys didn't put up a ton of points this week, but he's got dudes like Chubb, Kenneth Walker, Devontae Adams, DK Metcalf, Hawkinson. I mean, this looks like a solid lineup. I know Gino had kind of a rough day, but you know, I think he's got better days ahead. A lot of people think that the Seahawks are gonna have a decent year. I mean, they got trounced by the Rams this week, but you know, I don't know. He's got a good roster. And then I'm looking at yours though. We can talk about Daniel Jones now. I think we're gonna have to because he got, just like Lamar, 2 points.
While we're on Daniel Jones, that is the grossest performance of pro football I have ever seen by an offensive unit last night with the New York Giants. That was gross. And that entire offensive line should have been fired this morning, and they should be hitting local high schools. Whatever they got to do, they got to replace that. That was awful, and I am immediately regretting drafting Daniel Jones. It's only week 1, and I hate overreacting. I don't know how he has 2 points. All I needed was 10. I'm like, 10 measly freaking points. I need 10. He was at -1 in the first half. It was awful. I can't say enough. I'm not too worried, except at the court. I have Anthony Richardson on the bench. He had a little knee thing. I think everything's cleared there. He should be playing next week, and he will be playing for me because Daniel Jones will not see the light of day for a few weeks. I can't even. They play the Niners like week 3. Yeah. Bosa's going to eat some lunch. It's going to be gross, and yeah. I don't know what else to say. That was gross.
Jason, you know, I'm buying Daniel Jones and Giant stock. Call me an idiot. Are you buying the Giants or are you off?
I'm off. I'm on the Anthony Richardson train. He took the words right out of my mouth. Yeah, he took that hard hit at the end of the game, but he seems like to be the real deal. And you know, the Colts seem like they can actually keep him upright a little bit. And I'm on the Richardson train. I mean, if he doesn't get hurt and he's not getting bashed around like he was and plays smart and doesn't try to be superstar, then yeah, he's going to be great. And I mean, yeah, you got Dobbs on your bench. I mean, I don't know why you didn't put him in with Watson being out. I mean, that's just me, but I mean, I would play them every week. Those two need to play. Watson and Dobson are right there. I mean,
he's going to find the lineup. In Breece Hall, I was scared. I didn't know what he only has 5 carries, but he has 106 yards. That guy is a big play waiting to happen. It's amazing. They were on the 2-yard line in the first half of this game, and he broke off like a 70-some yard run. I mean,
Yeah, I saw it.
dude's electric, and he's coming off the ACL, so I was kind of worried. I'm like, they got Dalvin, they got Michael Carter. I didn't know how much he'd play, so I didn't put him in. Not that it would have really helped me. He's only at 6 points. He needs that touchdown.
I mean, that's the same as Chubb. Chubb had that huge run. He gets it all the way down inside the 10-yard line. He runs again, gets it inside the 5, and then they throw the ball. Like, the dude just worked his ass off to get all the way down there. You're not going to give him the reward. I mean, come on. It's not the Watson show.
They ran so far they got tired, guys.
I agree. I would too.
All right. With an eye on the clock, let's keep this moving on to the next one, okay? We got the Empire facing off against the Coyotes. This game's not over. We got Stephon Diggs for the Empire, who I just saw catch a ball. He's got already 9 points on the day, facing off against Garrett Wilson for the Jets and Aaron Rodgers. Now, I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to score any more points. He's got 0. Breaking news in that regard is doesn't look like a fracture in the ankle. Looks like some ligament damage. I got my medical expert Drew over here is guessing 3 weeks on that. But yeah, he's got basically Garrett Wilson against Stephon Diggs, and he's down 4. I mean, what do you guys think about this?
Yeah, I think the Buffalo's up. I mean, it's only 13-6, but I don't know how much more love Diggs is going to get. I mean, he needs a touchdown. But Garrett Wilson too. Garrett's a beast. Unfortunately, Zach Wilson is not. So he's going to have to catch a pass from one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL to make this happen.
Yeah, Jason, how do you see this one going?
To be honest, I think that the Empire is going to pull it off. I see Diggs. I see Diggs doing something. I mean,
so
there's no hope with the Jets right now, and it sucks because I have him in the NFL wins. I was hoping, but now with Rodgers going out, that hurts me. With Lazard that I have, I mean, I mean, it puts a big damper not only on the Coyotes team, but mine. But I think that the Empire is going to be able to pull this out. I mean, as long as they throw the ball. I mean, they're up 6, like you said, 13-6. I mean, they're not just going to run the ball the whole time. They're going to have to throw the ball. So, I mean, you just hope that Diggs catches the ball and gets open and runs it in.
But that the Jets are going to be throwing here. And Garrett Wilson only has 2 for 19. If you're trying to get back in this game, who are you going to throw the ball to? Not Tyler Conklin, because he's my tight end this week. But you're going to throw it to Garrett Wilson because he's a stud. He's a Buckeye, and you need to feed your Buckeyes, as we're seeing, especially the wide receivers.
It's a compelling case. And as you two are speaking, Allen just targets Diggs in the end zone, picked off, so not completed. But
oh, wow.
Yeah, I see. I don't know. I see the Empire. I think I see the Empire coming back and winning this one.
Do you? Now, see, I got the Coyotes hanging. I got them hanging on to this one.
All right, let's see how this last quarter.
They got the lead, and Garrett Wilson is a good. He's good. He's good, and the Coyotes have Brock Purdy on the bench, which is not Aaron Rodgers, but he could be okay.
Yeah,
he could be okay.
He was a target in some of my drafts. All right, boys, I want to move on to the team of the week in your eyes. Now, when we're talking about team of the week, we're not just talking about, all right, who scored more points than anybody else, but we're talking about just laid it down. You know what I mean? Like, did they unquestionably dominate their opponent? Are they somebody that's just set up in a really good spot, or just like absolutely, crush the week? Who's feeling best after week 1? Jason, kick us off.
My opinion, and I have no disregard to anybody, but I'm going to say it was the Taints. Did not have a great draft, but put up a ton of points against a great team that is going to put up a ton of points every single week. He put up the points, and he did what he needed to do in week 1 to get the win. I'm done.
Drew, what you got?
Yeah, I have actually you and the Taints, to be honest with you, because as you go through here, the Empire and then you guys, the Taints and the Sharks, you're the only ones without double digits on your bench, which either means your bench sucks or you played the right people. And that's kind of, it's a week-to-week game. You got to play the right people to win. And you both scored over 50. So, I think both you guys, that was the game of the week there. And
100%.
yeah. And Tua, again, he won't do this forever, which I'm excited about. I don't know when I got Saints on the schedule, but I'm confident I will beat them. And then, Mike, I hate it for you, man. You're in the wrong division. It sucks.
Yeah. Definitely a tough week one loss. Like I said, I can't remember the last time I've lost the opening day. I'm feeling hope in the fact that, we still scored some points, but definitely, it's a week to week game and we just didn't get it done this week. I'm giving my team of the week to somebody who I gave some love to last week, and I kind of feel bad. I'm just giving love constantly to this same group over and over again. But it's the replacements. They're first time in the league, coming in, first pick in the draft. Absolutely. I think he doubled the point total for his enemy. I mean, Josh Allen's still going, but he's just drubbing on his first week in the league. And I told him for years, like, hey, this is a really good league. It's competitive, a lot of stuff going on. I mean, I can imagine what this dude's thinking. He's coming in here and he's like, what are we doing? But I'm telling you what, life comes at you fast, which takes us to the next category. I want to talk about the life comes at you fast, just worst week on the slate. Drew, kick us off for this one.
Well, you're talking to him, and his name's not Jason. Yeah, it's awful performance by yours truly. Don't worry, anybody, you guys listen to this. It's not going to last. I'm gonna destroy you. It's okay. Don't get excited. But I gave one of the Niners. I felt bad. He doesn't look like he gets 69 a lot. He needs a little love. I gave him the love. I took week one off. Kelsey, I put in a call. He faked the whole knee thing. He's fine. He'll be back next week. And Daniel Jones is going to be out of my lineup, so we're going to be fine. But I absolutely destroyed my team this week, and that was awful. And good luck the rest of the year. But it's going to be rough for you guys. I'm gonna bring the pain.
Okay, that's an inspiring lost speech. I like that. Jason, what do you got?
To be honest, I have to go with the daddies just because who takes Justin Tucker second overall?
Fair point.
He's not going to be able to move past that.
No, this is sticking with him. I mean,
hey, Justin Tucker got 5 points. Newsflash. That's exactly what you need at 5 every week out of your second round pick. Who wouldn't want that?
Hey, I would sign up for it because, I mean, but yeah, I mean, I don't see him performing. I mean, just this week and taking Tucker overall at second, I think it's going to doom him for the season.
Try to calm down your excitement that he's in your division.
Like I said,
please.
Man, there's 2 teams that I love to see in my division: the Coyotes and the Big Daddy Bands. For some reason, over the 20 years, I've owned them, and I'll take the wins.
We're gonna. You know how, like in the news coverage, they have to give. I think they're required by law to give equal airtime to both candidates or all sets of candidates, whoever wants to come on. I'm gonna have to make sure we make an opportunity available both to Tom and to Angelo, and just give them an opportunity to share their opinion as well. So I think it'd be nice to hear the other side. What do you think, Drew?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll get them on here, and we won't hold back. They'll come on, but I mean, we don't want to get ahead of ourselves here. And this is an 0-1 guy talking here.
Yeah, same here.
You know what I mean? But we're confident. We're confident, right?
Yeah, cocky. I think more than cocky.
Okay. Yeah.
My damn life comes at you quick team is the Empire, and now I was dead set on this thing when Monday night hadn't kicked off yet. But I'll be honest with you, I'm softening a little bit on my stance, but let me give you the take that I had previously. So we've got Melvin Gordon on the roster who didn't even play. I don't know if he played. He didn't carry the ball. I don't think he played. I didn't watch the whole game, but 0 points on that one. Now with Dobbins hurt, I hear that Melvin Gordon might be taking over that spot. So maybe there's signs of life there, but then we've got Najee Harris who carried the ball 6 times, caught two passes. Pittsburgh just didn't have it there. Also, Michael Pittman, who did catch a touchdown, but it's just not thought to be maybe one of the strongest receivers in the league this year. I'm looking at the lineup, and I got to be honest. If I'm the umpire, I'm getting a little bit desperate. No offense. That's what I got.
Yeah. No, the Pittman will be okay, I think. And Diggs, obviously, dude's going to eat. But the running back department here for the Empire is ouch. I mean, A.J. Dillon, he was running backwards pretty much, 13 carries for 19 yards. I mean, I could have done that. Yeah, a lot of people without catches on the bench. It's a little scary. It's a little scary in week 1.
Yeah. All right, I want to do just a heads up for what's coming in week 2. Now, for those of you that have been in the league for a while, we're in division for the first 3 weeks, and then we're also in division for the last 3 weeks of the regular season. So we're staying in the division. Here are the matchups. We've got the replacements against the club. How you feeling about that so far, club?
Not good.
Yeah.
Not good.
we got the Bandits against the Kings, 2 underperforming teams that, they got a chance to see.
Somebody's got to win.
Somebody got to win. That's right.
Yeah.
We got the Taints and the Tsunami. That's setting up as maybe the game of the week.
Yeah, that'll be a good one.
I got the Bushwhackers against myself. Now,
win.
I hope so. Just
in the bag.
We need a get right game, and I don't. Out of respect to the football gods, I don't want to say too much right now. You know what I mean? We got the 69ers against the Coyotes, which. I mean, the 69ers, we were kind of shitting on them early after the post-draft recap, but
yeah, as we should have.
They got that dub. Am I right?
They did.
And then Nuts, you got the Empire. How you feeling about that?
Wonderful.
Just like 100% confidence. It's just oozing out of you.
Yeah, it's 50 points. I'm not even putting a lineup in. I got this. I'll put Justin Tucker in or something. Yeah.
Help me.
My second round pick, whatever.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? You can actually play Daniel Jones and still win.
Oh.
I wouldn't go that far. No, he's not seeing the light of day. He might be on the wire. Anybody? I know Coyotes is a Giants fan.
Yeah,
check the wire.
Fan. Yeah, just trade him to the Coyotes or cut him. Coyotes will pick him up.
Who do the Coyotes give me? That's a question. I mean, do they have like a backup kicker I could get, or what does he have?
I mean, you know how he works. He may give you Aaron Jones. Who knows?
I'm down. Yeah, let's do that. Tyler Higbee.
I had a trade that was proposed to me last night.
By who?
Tsunamis.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Or can we share this? I mean,
yeah. I declined it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. What'd you ask?
He's trying to give me Justin or Lawrence, Trevor Lawrence for Greg Kittle.
George Kittle.
George
tight
Kittle.
end.
Yeah.
Ooh, who's your quarterback again?
I have Hubert. Justin.
Yeah.
He put up 13. I'm happy with that, and I got the Eckler connection. I don't. I didn't need it. And I just was going by, him saying that, as he said in week 1, my average of tight ends in this whole thing is 3.4 points or 4 or 5 points or something. No, I'm not giving a guy one of the best coaches in our league. I'm not giving him another weapon. And that's the only thing that sucks about this league, is that there's not a lot of trades because people are greedy. They don't want to give up what they draft because they feel that that's the best opportunity. And I think that if we do go back to, like you guys were saying last week, and cut the rounds down to make it more of a meaty league.
With 12 teams, 18 players is a lot. It doesn't leave a lot on the wire.
Yeah, no, I think we go back to 15 how we originally were.
I think that's definitely something that we can put on the board for a vote. I think 16 is a number that we kind of talked about last time. I don't know. 16 seems like it kind of feels right. It gives 24 more players back onto the free agent wire. That's quite a bit of depth.
Because I thought originally when we started, I could be wrong, but I thought we were at 15 was what it was, or was it 16?
I don't know. I remember 16 for some reason, but the great thing about RT Sports is we can go back in the archives and literally look at it, and it won't take long.
So, and I was trying to figure out because the one question that you had this week that we kind of glossed over was free agency. There's no way to see who's available in the league right now because it's not available to us.
Yeah, I was gonna.
You have to type the player in the search, don't you?
Well,
I don't even know if you even have that option right now.
you don't
No,
yet. The game's still going on.
You
so
can put it in the search, and then it'll show if they're on a team or if they're a free agent.
I tried to go into top performers and see that way.
So
yeah, you can do that too. Yeah.
As I'm getting my onboarding training for this commissionership here, I come to learn that Dan literally every Tuesday morning early goes in and sets the waiver order. And he's done this for 20 years. So once he does that, then you have the free agent wire open to you and you can go and explore which players are available. But until he does that, you're right. We can't go and search like we normally will throughout the regular season. But he's going to take care of it for us tomorrow morning, and then I'm going to start doing it next week.
Okay. A little behind the scenes note. I like it.
Yeah.
So he was actually getting up at 4 a.m. or whatever to set the lineup.
For 20 years. Isn't that crazy?
Oh, my God, dude. God bless him.
Yeah. It's a really impressive dude. I thought that the site did it automatically, but it does not. No, I had that question too, Jason. I'm glad you brought it up. One free agent target, but it's hard to go through every single team and see who's available. We don't have that available to us yet. So maybe we'll bring that back for next week. I want to get real quick on one thing, and then we're going to close it out. I hope you've prepared some remarks. But what's your confidence meter for each one of your teams? I'm talking 0 to 10, 10 guaranteed Super Bowl, 0 no chance in hell. I want the realistic thing. Drew, I'm going to start with you because I have an idea of where it's going to go.
For our teams specifically?
Yeah, your individual team.
Yeah. I'm not saying 10. 8.5 maybe. The quarterback is the issue here. I need Anthony Richardson. His accuracy was the issue coming into the NFL. He was 24, 37, 223 and a touchdown, 1 pick. Not an awful stat line when you carry the ball 10 times for 40 and a touchdown. I'll take that. 14 points every week. That would be awesome. But Michael Thomas, is he coming back 5 of 61? That's what that was the stat line week 1. I got him on the bench. Juju Smith-Schuster, I'm not excited about. That might be a drop. Van Jefferson stunk. But Dobbs on the bench with 2 touchdowns. A little wire action here. And I'll be in the mix. I'm not a 10, but I'm about an 8.5.
Okay. We're gonna keep track throughout the year. Jason, where are you at? Confidence meter.
Drew's feeling a little bit more confident than I am. To be
surprising.
honest.
That's surprising.
Honestly, I feel I'm a solid 7. I as long as I play the right players. I didn't know that Jacoby Myers is, if he pans out and continues to do what he's doing. What 9 and 81 and 2? Who's not going to take that? Even if it's 7 and 80 and 1, who's not going to take that a week? And Darnell Mooney, who knows what's going to happen with that guy? You got Justin Fields, which I feel that your Anthony Richardson is the same situation as Fields was last year.
Mm-hmm.
I picked him up off the waiver wire and I rode him to the Super Bowl, and God bless him. I don't think he's going to perform as well. I think Richardson has a better chance of outperforming as Fields. But not trying to get off the subject, but if Watson comes back and he performs, and God forbid if Taylor comes back, or gets traded, then I think my confidence level may go from a 7 to maybe a 9 at that point. But right now, I'm going to say a solid 7.
Okay, all right, that's respectable. Not too high, not too low. I like it. Personally, guys, with you,
what are you feeling?
I'm a little bit concerned. I'm at a 6.5 right now.
Ooh.
The Vikings, they were 11-0 in 1-score games last year, which is just a recipe for nasty disaster this year because, the average has to regress back to what's normal. I'm in a very tough division. I just lost my first game by 1 point. We gotta find a way to close these games out in wins, not losses. There's only 14 weeks in a regular season, so I got 13 opportunities remaining. Of course, we're going to take it week by week. but I'm at 6.5. We've got some hurdles put in front of us. Yes, we're going to score some points, but I think most of the teams in my division also going to score some points. So I'm going to check back in next week. Hopefully, I'm expecting a little bit of improvement, but I'm at 6.5.
Okay.
All right. Now, one thing I wanted to do, let's see how this thing goes. But Jason, when we bring our third guest onto this thing, we want to give you the opportunity to kind of give your team a pep talk. All right. After this week is over, we're putting it behind us. Here comes week 2. We've got 90 seconds. Give us the motivation.
I don't even know if I even need 90 seconds, but my team performed well first week, not knowing what's going to happen. I don't want to say there was there's no what's the word I'm looking for? Crap. No camaraderie yet between the players and knowing what's going to happen. But I can say that I did have a little connection with Justin and Austin. Hope that Austin makes it out okay. But this is a little touch up. But I got to bring some people off the bench, that I feel that are performers. And other than that, I don't know what I have to say. I mean, my team performed. I got the W. I did not put up the points, but you know what, guys? A win's a win. That's all I got to say. A W is a W in this league. You want a W, and that's it. A tie means nothing. I mean, a tie kind of but you know what? A W is a W. You need that.
Can't take it away from you.
No, and I'll take it. And and that's the only thing I got to say is that I got a W, and you guys didn't this week. So, I mean, I'm not, but you guys are 2 respectable players, 2 great coaches, 2 talented teams, and I can't wait to face you guys. And the 2 best lineups go head to head. I mean, I can't speak enough about this league. I mean, it's an honor to be in it, and then to have Mike take this next step is unprecedented.
Well, we're stoked. We're stoked to have you. Drew, before we close it out, what do you got for us tonight? Anything?
My team's going to get its head out of its ass, and we're going to play better. That's it. That's all I got. Daniel Jones, you're dead to me. You're dead. That's all I got.
So, hey, we're going to see him on the waiver wire?
You might.
Well,
it's week 1. It's week 1.
If you said he's dead, he's gone. You might as well cut him.
Next week.
I mean, I got to bury the body, though.
You know what?
I'll help you.
You're a real friend, Jason. You're a real friend.
That's what we're talking about. Oh man, this has been
I'm not going to have to. His offensive line's going to literally have to bury his body because I can't. I couldn't get over that. I'm watching. I had to stop at the 4th quarter. I couldn't watch it. I sat through that, as painful as it was. I'm not a Giants fan. That was painful. That was almost Browns football bad. It really was. It was painful. I mean, we thought the Cardinals were going to be the worst team in the NFL. They won. I mean, that's gross. Like, that's an NFL team in week 1, and that's what you come with. Gross. I know I got off topic there. I can't stop talking about how bad the Giants were. That was awful.
It's all good, man. It's all good. Jason, thanks so much for being out here. Drew, appreciate it yet again. We're going to try, for those listening and watching, we're going to try and make this happen every week. I mean, if you guys aren't really caring about it, then let us know, and, maybe we'll pause. But I'm having fun doing this. Drew said that he's having a ball. Jason, I know, in our pre-show talk, was saying he's having a good time, excited that we're doing it too. So let's see what we can do with this thing. I know I enjoy talking ball. I appreciate talking ball with both you two as well. Good luck in week 2, gents. I'll see you next time.
Good luck, guys.
Sounds good, man.